Hello and welcome to this feature interview. I'm Emily Carrier. You may notice 182 solar panels constructed beside of Interstate 81 off exit 26. These will power Emory and Henry's radio station 90.7 FM WEHC, making it the first solar powered FM station in the Southeast and the second radio station on the East Coast powered by solar energy. This is not the beginning of Emory's energy-efficient efforts and certainly not the end. Here to explain what this means for our campus and community is Chair of the Geography Department and leader of this project, Dr. Ed Davis. Sir, thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Well, to begin, if you could explain kind of what this solar energy and what these panels, how they will power our radio station.
Okay, basically, just like your calculator, a small amount of light can produce considerable amount of electricity if you set the panels pointed toward that source. So we've got those panels pointing south. They're actually maximized in their position to catch the sun's rays. They will produce about 40,000 kilowatt hours of electricity in an average year. That's about 2/3 of what the FM station's transmitter uses. So we're almost doing 100% of what the radio station requires.
So this is kind of the first of its kind. Are you all aware of any of the pros and cons that this will produce for the radio station?
Well, we had some challenges. Building a solar array in that site was great because of the ability to show people up and down the interstate that we have solar power. There are 50,000 people driving by every day. It's a great ad. It's one of the most visible arrays in Virginia. But the wind is tremendous up there, and they had to build it with very sturdy systems of steel and concrete. But in terms of cons, there's really no con for us. The power actually goes into the grid, so to speak, and then when we produce more power than we're using, then actually, in a way, the power company owes us money back. So in a sense, there's sort of a kind of an exchange going on where we can send them electricity. But the station's use as a transmitter sort of is costing the college some $5,000 a year. So this is great. We're actually able to save the college money. It'll pay for itself in 10 years or so.
That's always good, saving the college money. What did it cost to put these panels in?
It's an $80,000 array, and yet with the way tax credits and such work, hopefully it's really doesn't cost the college as much as that sounds. We have a grant that we wrote to get help in covering the costs. So.
And this isn't the first energy efficient project on campus. I've heard mention of Emory moving towards being a carbon neutral community.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain that to me?
Right. Roz Reichard, when she was our president, signed what's called the President's Climate Commitment. She's one of about 700 college presidents to do this. What that agreement said is that over the next so many decades, we will go to carbon neutral. For us, we set the date of 2036 because it'll be the college's 200th birthday. And 2036 may sound like a long way off, but we've had to really start working if we're going to meet that goal. We've begun buying all of our electricity, by the way, not from a regular power plant, but from a place that's producing power from methane gas. So our electricity already at the college is green electricity. We also, all of our new buildings are LEED certified, which means super efficient. If you may know about Hickory and Elm, they're both very efficient buildings. The new Performing Arts Center will be LEED Silver certified, and it has has a system called a ground source heat pump. And you may know about this. Out under the parking lots out there are these wells where fluid goes in and you pick up the temperature of the ground, which is about 56 degrees, so that heating and cooling the Performing Arts Center, Hickory and Elm, is much easier than it's easier on the heat pumps, uses a lot less power.
And the new radio, or our current radio station, will now be housed in this new arts building.
Right, right. So actually the radio station itself is going to use a lot less power. And then as we go to just really depending on the sun, we're probably going to have a lot more solar panels. But this means the radio station becomes a kind of an example for the rest of the community.
Mm-hmm. And talking about becoming an example, do you think other radio stations in our area and across the East Coast will follow suit in using these solar panels?
Oh, I think so. Just 3 years ago, I think there was only one FM station in the United States. Now there are about 5 in the western states where they have a lot of sunshine. We were beaten on the East Coast by Boston. There's a Boston FM station that got up. They actually buy power from a solar generator. We're the first FM station in the East that has its own own solar panels at the station. So we're setting a great example that I think a lot of stations will follow.
So the panels are in place. The building is under construction. The radio station is ready. When can we celebrate this major accomplishment?
Well, the dedication will happen a week from Saturday on November 15th. The president will flip a switch, and we'll have a bunch of people here, including the CEO of the company that's installing it, Ecological Energy Services, or Ecological Energy Systems. They'll be there. She's a fascinating woman, a businesswoman who's won awards nationally. But that CEO is going to be there with the president, and they'll maybe together we'll have them pull the switch, and we'll have a kind of a party just before the football game that day, our last home game. So it'll be fun.
Well, Dr. Ed Davis, thank you so much for being here and sharing this exciting project with us.
Thank you, Emily.
This has been your EHCTV feature interview with Dr. Ed Davis. I'm Emily Carrier, and we'll see you at the celebration November 15th.